actually attended New Jersey Transit Board of Directors meetings, you have heard and seen on the news the rotten service that New Jersey Transit has been providing lately, cancellations of trains without any notice due to PTC installation and operator shortage. Kathy Rinaldi, the president of Metro North, has read the riot act to New Jersey Transit and said, if you keep doing this, we're going to start withholding money. Since Kathy has said that, service has not deteriorated any further, which I guess is it's an improvement if you're looking for the rosy side of things. What they have done in New Jersey, they could never get away with in New York State. You have to give so much notice on service cuts, on alternative plans. I mean, it's just. Meanwhile, the Pascack Valley and Port Jervis lines of Metro North have really suffered because they rely on New Jersey Transit to get to Hoboken. This weekend, I think, the Port Jervis line is undergoing massive work, and so bus service is substituting for it. They are building a sort of midpoint new yard in the Middletown, New York area, which will allow them to run additional service on the Port Jervis line. Again, contingent on New Jersey Transit providing service from the New York-New Jersey line south to Secaucus Junction and Hoboken. So we will see where that leads. But rest assured that the Metro North Council and Randy and Orrin are really on the case of New Jersey Transit, who is really providing rotten service at the moment. And interestingly, many of the reasons for operator shortage is because operators are leaving New Jersey Transit and going to Metro North where the pay is better. So.
And it makes us look good on the evening news because
so it's
they
ironic.
now meet with New Jersey Transit rather than.
But actually, the irony is that they're leaving to go to Metro North, who, if you're on the west of Hudson line, is getting worse service because you've left. So, you know, it's great if you're on the Hudson, Harlem, or New Haven lines, but if you're on the Port Jervis or Pascack Valley lines, you've left there to go to a place where you're now causing worse service. So, it's ridiculous. But hopefully, this will get better. Another real irony is that the next board meeting of New Jersey Transit is being held in Atlantic City, where you can no longer get because they've curtailed the Atlantic City line until after the new year for PTC installation.
Yes.
So they're going to hear a real earful when they go to that meeting.
I need to get in.
I guess you have to take a bus if you're going.
Yeah, it's bus substitution.
If you're coming from Philly, I guess you could take Patco on a bus. But
Certainly, yeah, it certainly goes as far as they could on the high speed.
Yeah. So that's really it for my report. I probably went over where I should have. Chris?
You didn't, any update about the family?
We, not directly, but there was a lot of talk about the budget and how it's really tough and how ridership has continued to fall. I believe ridership will rebound to a certain degree after the first of the year when those first of the new for-hire vehicle fees go on both Uber, Lyft, Via, and yellow cabs. And actually spoke to Tim Mulligan yesterday and asked him, is it clear to anyone, because it is not clear to me, if the additional $2.50 charge is on top of the 50-cent charge yellow cabs get? Or
yes.
It's on, well, that means it's going to be like $6 just to step into a yellow cab. That's going to kill them.
No, I thought.
If it's in addition to, it's going to kill the
I
yellow
was
cab.
told that it wasn't, that it was just going to be for all the others because of what is going on with the yellow cabs, where literally it's killing them. There have been 6 suicides.
See, nobody has an answer to this. It's
Well, I can make a call after this and I'll email you and then you can get it out.
Did I give the answer?
Okay, because the last time I asked about this, I was told that it was not going to be for the yellow cabs, that it was only going to be for Lyft, Uber, and all the other, what do they call them?
For-hire vehicles.
For-hire
vehicles,
yeah. But I will, I'm not going to do it now, but I will, and Andrew, should I email the office or should I email you? I'll email everybody.
Great. Did you want to say anything, Lisa? After you swallow, of course.
And Trudy wasn't here when you introduced Lisa.
Can't help that.
Are you going to introduce me to Lisa? How long do we know each other?
I counted in decades instead of years.
Yeah, going back to Ruth or whatever. No, and I I wasn't allowed to call you. I had an inkling that it was going to happen, so. But anyway, welcome on board. I am thrilled.
Thank you. Thank you. I
And
am
you
also
should know I'm finally thrilled with something.
That's good. A thrilled Trudy is a happy Trudy.
I'm also thrilled, I do see some familiar faces here, and it's nice to see you again. And for those of you who are, I may not be familiar too, I look forward to becoming more familiar, if that makes sense. And I know, and I'm really thrilled that Bill has led such a great organization for so long, and leaving it in such good shape. The job that's most relevant, and where many of you know me from, is I was most recently the interim executive director for the New York Metropolitan Transportation Council, where I served, I worked for 8.5 years, first as a public information officer and then as the interim executive director. So, and I've worked with several elected officials.
Going back to Ruth Messenger.
Going back to Ruth Messenger. My city service started a decade before that. Unless we don't talk in years, we talk in decades.
Yeah.
And it's really so excited to be working with all of you and to be working to be the rider advocates. Advocate from the inside, right? But you know, I look forward to getting to know you all better, and thank you so much for this opportunity.
Since I came in after Trudy, can you tell me is she Bill's replacement?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Hey, you're explaining it to
Lisa
Trudy.
Garthigan.
Lisa, this is Edith Prentice.
Why don't you all introduce
Yeah.
yourselves?
That would be terrific.
That would be
Why
a
don't
good
you start with
It
you?
was in the chair's report, but we didn't get there. So.
Yes, I was getting oriented today, this morning, so that's why I was.
One of those old things.
So should everybody introduce themselves?
That would be terrific, so.
Ellen Shannon, Associate Director.
I'm Marissa Halpern, I'm the representative of the Bronxville president.
Scott Nichols, the Town Representative.
Matt Dodkin, I ride Metro North relatively frequently. Public member, yeah.
Yes.
Michael Howard, I'm a self-advocate.
Terrific.
Carol Capiero, Research Associate for PCAC.
Hiding in the back.
Bradley Brashears, Petty Manager, PCAC.
Sound better a little bit too.
Yes, thank you.
Sheila Benesh, Transportation Planner for PCAC.
Deborah Bright, Chairperson of the Brooklyn Family Support Service Advisory Council related to Mr. President.
Hi, this is Deborah Hallmore, New York City Transit Government and Community Relations. Welcome.
Pleasure, thank you.
Edith Prentice, I'm a public advocate, holdover nominee. I will drive you crazy over issues of inaccessibility, which is perfectly appropriate.
Absolutely.
I mean, 59th, Fulton, 2 sets were down, and I mean, it was like West 4th, all this morning.
All the elevators?
All the elevators I needed to take, and I have 2 backups at Fulton.
Ken?
Ken Stewart, President of Metropolitan Council of Low Vision Individuals.
And Ken, we were on the community board for a
Fulton,
little
the
bit together.
elevator that gets me from the A
I'm Stuart
to the
Gold.
4-5, and the elevator for the 2-3.
Christopher
They were
D.
both
Wright,
out yesterday, so both planned service, planned work.
Also look like he did ADA.
But they shouldn't be both planned on the same
And also
day.
part of the Long Island Railroad.
And it was
Task
yesterday also.
I'm Trudy Mason. I
The
represent
one
the borough of Manhattan.
The one
I was appointed
at
by,
Cortland
and I
fell
also
this
did some other
morning
things besides this, but
and was
we
out
know
yesterday.
everything else it is. And I was first appointed by
And
Judy
59th
Bills,
Street.
followed by Scott Stringer, and
So I took the
I
1,
think you know all of
96,
that. And Ruth had
the
her own person, but I
42nd
used to
on
work
the
with
express,
transportation.
Awesome
And I used to
shuttle.
work here for under, well,
then
you know that,
the
so done you, going
But
back
it's still,
to
I'm only 45 minutes.
long decades. And I have something, which is,
I
I think
started
I
at
made
night.
one of these a long time ago, but it's my motto, and I hope it will be yours.
Oh, good,
Where
because
was
I
the
actually
night
lost the one you
before?
gave me.
I gave you
I
a
had
case
to
a long
move
time ago.
over
Well,
in the
good,
elevator.
now you
Thank you.
have it again, and that should be
Thank you very much.
I'm Burton Strauss, I'm the mayoral appointee. TRC.
One of those guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
well,
what
I
I-
know, a good roundabout.
The PCA, yes. Oh, as we like to call it, some of our members like to call it.
And Bill Gilbeck from Manhattan also
59, they could have switched you over to
recommended
the,
by
or
the mayor, Mayor Jack.
This is true.
And previous PCAC
Yeah,
chair.
yeah. And I'll just say that everyone is a holdover. The Transit Riders Council is the only council that has terms, 2-year terms. I don't think anybody, no one has been reappointed since Mayor Bloomberg, I don't believe.
Yeah, I was appointed when Gail was elected.
Well, people are supposed to be reappointed every 2 years, but.
That makes us a member of the Transit Holdover Coalition.
But,
And we're still waiting for Melinda Katz.
Right next to the elevator door.
All right, folks, we're up against our deadline because Sally Librera will be here and will make her really interesting, and you must hear this presentation because it affects our everyday ride quality. So, let's go to old business. Anyone have any old business they would like to bring up? Christopher D. Greif.
Oh, I like the way you,
You're going to use your middle initial.
I like the way you said it. No, in all business, we were supposed to have maybe in the near months comes up to have a redo bus meeting again, because Darryl did mention.
Yeah, he mentioned they will be periodic,
Yeah.
and they
I
will
hope
quarterly.
I hope we could meet with him again because we're still having some minor issue. And when I say minor, it's not like what it was after we met. It was fixed, but there's still some areas that need to be worked on.
In that
I will
last
get to
meeting,
him
we talked about October, November would be our
I
next.
was waiting, I knew you were gonna say that.
Yeah.
No, told them.
And that's what it will be.
Yes, but I just wanted to make sure.
Count on it.
Yeah.
Any other old, yes, Ken?
Yeah, quickly in terms of announcements of subway stations on the Lexington line in Midtown. I heard they announcing the number 7 train is
fantasy
going
is
to
if they
34th
would
Street.
give
I'm sure that confuses some people because they're 42nd Street expecting to go 34th Street in Lexington Avenue. So I suggest we use a different name to the end of the 7 line, like Hudson Yard.
Well, at least 34th Street, Hudson Yards, yes. That's the name of the station.
No, that's what it says.
On the train, on the station.
Ken is saying he's heard announcement that say
Well, no,
234th Street.
No, I'm taking a lot, and they usually do say Hudson Yards.
Messing up the film.
We're not talking on the train.
I am talking at,
Did Ken tell you what station he's talking about?
which,
In a station he's talking about, he heard an announcement.
at 42nd Street or which station?
Just let Ken talk.
Let him finish.
experience.
Where?
He's back here.
Yeah, Ken, which,
Yes,
Where did you hear that announcement, Ken?
on the Lexington line at 59th Street probably.
Okay.
huh?
Why would they announce the 7 at 59th Street?
They only announce it at Grand Central. They say you can change for the number 7 to Queens or Hudson Yards. And
Good,
I've
that's
heard
good,
it
yeah.
many times.
The only time they have mentioned the 7 if it's not running or there's a problem.
Yeah.
So Ken, you're saying you only heard them say 234th Street?
I heard it say 34th Street when I was at 59th Street. Station, yeah.
I don't know why they would be announcing the 7 at 59th Street, to be
Because someone
honest.
had a brain freeze.
Maybe.
And that was
Or
on the
maybe, no, if the
platform.
7 wasn't running or it's not running to 34th Street, there was a time, I take it to go cross town all the time. And there was a time when it was not
Oh, wait a
running, it
minute.
was only going to
Wait a
Queens.
minute. If it wasn't running, 59th Street would be where you would change to go to Queensboro Plaza where you could get.
Exactly, exactly,
Yes.
and that's why they would announce it at 59th Street.
That is why they would announce it, but they would
Not-
certainly not announce to Hudson
Otherwise,
Yards
they would
there.
not.
Ken,
and that's
what
probably-
day did you hear it? Was it on a weekend?
I don't remember,
When you hear these things that you're gonna bring to us, it's really helpful if you can give us the day of the week and approximately time of day. That would really help. Because then we
Well,
could follow up.
But I think that all the announcements about that number 7 train should avoid referring to the end of the line as 34th Street, wherever they're making it.
I've always heard 34th Hudson Yards, but we will find out.
Probably a one-time thing.
You take it every day, you live on the
I take the
7.
7 train every day, so I will pay extra attention.
But But it could have been a conductor who was announcing it on.
Could have been a weekend GO.
No, but it also could have been a conductor who wasn't announcing the whole thing,
It could have been.
which happens quite
We'll,
often on.
yeah, we'll check on that, Ken,
456.
thank you. Anything else? Yes, Edith?
Well, it's sort of old and new because I've complained about it often enough. But today I was so excited. There's a sign next to the elevator to the downtown Lexington at 42nd Street that says alternative accessible travel information. I have never seen this sign in any other station. I don't know if this is a Metro North sign. I don't know if it's a New York City Transit sign, but it's awesome.
You saw it in the subways?
I have the copy. I took a picture. I'll send it.
If you saw it in the subway, it's not a
So
Metro
wait,
North.
where was the what's the alternative?
Okay, taking Uptown 6 to 51st Street and use elevator to transfer to a downtown 6 to Grand Central 42nd. And then you would be on the platform. Yeah, it's like when I have to get onto an uptown train at 168th Street because the downtown elevator is out, and you just do a U-turn.
Yep.
This is the greatest thing I have seen the MTA do.
So excited.
I am very excited. I am very easily,
As, on that topic, I actually attended one of the working group subcommittee meetings on accessibility that Ira Greenberg was chairing. And Alex Elagudin, who was the new czar of accessibility, he's pushing signs like the one Edith is talking about, and has formulated a booklet, a really terrific, glossy booklet on how to use the subways if you need accessible stations, with a key to every station, where the accessible, what end the elevators are at. This is an amazing booklet. I discovered one error in it, so it's going to be reprinted. But once it comes out, it's going to be really, really well received. This is quite a booklet on accessible stations. And I don't know if anyone has noticed this, but let me just pull it out and show you. I'm sure this will excite Edith as well.
Let's not get Edith excited.
The new subway map,
Oh, yes, yeah.
which is as of September, which has the WTC Cortlandt station in it. At the very bottom, this is something brand new, has a whole thing of the accessible stations on it. So it's readily, easily,
right, it's got an insert.
no, it's right at the bottom of the page.
Yes, it's in a box.
Yeah,
It's called World Trade Center now for the #1 line.
it's called WTC Cortlandt.
Right.
Yes.
And the new fold-out card is using a bigger font.
What's the date on your map?
The accessible
Wasn't on
station
one of
one?
the other maps.
Yes. It's got a bigger font, and the date is July. And they're being
So it doesn't
delivered
even have Cortland's here.
I don't have,
Oh, yeah, you want to say?
I gave mine away within 5 seconds.
Yesterday at the board meeting, Phil also mentioned that the Long Island Railroad is bringing in customer care agents at Penn Station, Babylon, and Jamaica to assist people who may need any help. So that's a step in the right direction.
Well,
It's
I mean, that's
not
certainly
the end, but
not
it's
a lot of
definitely a good
stations,
beginning.
but.
Yeah, they've been, well, there are people there are dedicated people at the terminals and then Jamaica, but there's also, you can also call ahead. If you give them I believe it's 2 hours notice, you can call ahead and get assistance at any station.
Bill and Lisa, I was with Vanessa today because we were doing the No Street study. She did brought this up and I'm glad Lisa is bringing it up. The one thing they are going to be doing, Edith, you should hear this too, is they are going to make those little small signs into little big ones because there's been a lot of complaints about those. And as well as what I'm hearing is some of the staircases that they actually take off room with sidewalks, they are now working with the stone owners to make sure that right now, because there's an issue right now with New York Avenue with that, because you can't go around because unless you want to get hit by a car or
Right.
in the air. So what they're going to be doing is they are going to be putting a sign temporarily, yellow state, and making sure it smats down. which they should be giving us more up to date. And I did tell them either to send you the information as well as PCAC
Okay.
on
Can I
that.
ask,
Yes.
on a little bit of a different topic, but because we brought it up several times on the accessibility map, and wondering if the council would want to write a letter supporting that it gets updated when a new station is introduced,
Yes.
anything,
At
or,
least it's updated when the regular map is updated.
that seems
How
like the
many
right.
years did we go without a new map, Carol?
Oh, many.
3
And
years.
one wasn't done
Well,
when
it's more
Second
than
Avenue
that.
station's
Yeah.
finished,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
that's just.
There
Well,
was a
that- they don't
February,
do it for Second
there was a
Avenue.
February, a May,
Right.
and a September
Thank you.
regular map this year.
And accessibility maps didn't get it.
Right.
Oh, talking about.
So, can, just to see, is the council in favor?
Yes. Can I make that motion? Can I make that
I
motion
think
so
it's-
bad?
Can we
I think
also
we're all in
do a
agreement.
letter, of great pleasure for this sign?
We will
It's
write
so,
that.
so easily, you know.
I think you're gonna see a lot more of those, that's part of the program.
Yes.
Can you,
I'll see it.
Edith, can you email us the picture?
Yes, I will email you the picture.
Okay, that'd be great.
Yes, Edith, I need to see pictures of those
Yes,
pictures.
Old new business, but it's actually new. I am happy to announce that the newsstands that were vacant and nobody knew what they were doing there for the last year and a half since the Second Avenue subway opened, they are now newsstands
What do you know?
in all 3 stations. What we still don't have are the countdown clocks.
They are coming.
Yeah, I know, so is Christmas.
No, no.
So is next Rosh Hashanah.
They were actually
Okay.
talked about and
Yeah, I know, but they have wonderful signs saying, look up, look down, look up, and you'll see countdown clocks. And those signs have been there now for 4 months. So
Well,
that's
there
why
was-
I said
brought
it's
it
old
up.
and new business.
Sally
So-
may have an update on
I don't have an update from Monday.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, but I'm just telling you that as of yesterday, there were newsstands, but there were no countdowns. I mean, I checked,
we're
There
well.
there was a technical issue with involving sabotage.
There was a technical issue involving the system that runs the information to those screens in particular.
I
It's
mean,
being-
the three stations.
Yes,
63rd,
yes,
77th.
there's a good number of screens in those stations
4
that once we
stations.
can, right, exactly. 4
Okay,
stations.
well,
Once
I'm
we-
glad you're here to
Yeah, once we clarify, or fix that software issue, we should be able to pump information to those signs. In my opinion, we've done the hard part, we've installed the
Okay,
signage, so now
thank
we
you, so I
should
can
be able to
report
get
that
that.
back, because every time that there
So
are
it's
no,
definitely
I now
being
go
worked on.
down every couple of days just to see what's going on, because people keep on, they associate me with the Second Avenue subway, so they keep every complaint that comes through. I don't want to bother you with them, or not too much, Andrew and Lisa, I'm not going to bother you with them either, I promise. But,
You'd be the only
We
person.
gotta move on, folks.
Well, that's an important one.
yeah.
Go ahead, Edith.
Okay, the other day, as usual, the 2-3 elevator was out. I pushed the button, no one answered.
What
I put-
station?
Fulton, sorry, at Fulton, the end elevator. And yeah, finally someone answers and they just say hello, 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 and they hang up. Okay, so I figured, let's go to the blue light. So I go to the blue light. I'm trying to explain to this person that the elevator was out, and all I wanted was someone to help me think through where else I could go, I should go. Their answer was they were going to send cops down for me. Now, you know, like the New York City Police Department should waste their time finding me first, because they never can find you on the platform. We are bigger than bread boxes. And then they're not going to know any more than anyone else. Which, you know, I mean, this is just a very frustrating situation and
How
really
did it
waste
end
of
up,
time.
Edith? What was the ultimate conclusion?
The ultimate conclusion was I decided to just get on an Uptown 2-3 and then took that and went to Whole Foods. Went to Trader Joe's. I gave up. There was like no way I was going to get out of Fulton that day.
I can speak to that one.
Sure.
Not that specific issue.
Yeah,
or-
but
or incident.
the general
Yeah,
issue.
The overall issue, yes. So recognize that wayfinding when one of our machines is out is important and is a challenge. So we're actually rolling out a new initiative, which is to put fixed signage next to all of our elevators.
She saw.
Oh, you saw it? Okay, great.
I saw the one in Grand Central on my way down today.
Excellent, right, so I think we've committed to getting 10 stations done by the end of this month, and we're gonna go from there. But the idea is that signage is always there, and it shows you what you can do in the event that the elevator's not working.
But that
Certainly
signage,
from
wait
the
a second.
point.
please, that signage is really good if you're going to the platform. It's not of any use when you are going to the platform to go somewhere else.
If you arrive on the platform from a train, in other words.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, and I don't know whether there's an equivalent signage on the platform.
There should, yeah, the idea would be to put relevant signage at every level.
Okay.
So that the signage is on the platform would most certainly be designed to communicate with people that are coming off the train station.
Okay.
So we're not there yet. Feedback is good, and certainly in the interim, you should be able to do what you said you did, which is go to the help point and get wayfinding information from there. So.
But I didn't.
You did not, no.
Their
I'm
answer
sorry
was
to hear
they
that.
were gonna
You should be able
send
to do
cops
that.
down to find me.
And you can also get the information from 511 as well. So those are the options that exist right now. Recognize that didn't work for you, and certainly apologize for that. But we are working on that big signage.
Yes, sir.
I'm Bobby Lee, I'm from the Bronx, Parkchester, and I hear about signage and signs and stuff like that. None of that exists in the Bronx.
Doesn't exist in Manhattan either.
Everybody's talking about elevator service. They've been trying to get elevator service in Parkchester for I don't know how long. And one thing I like to see is that since we're at where I am, it's elevated tracks. I would like to know before I walk up the stairs whether the train is functioning or not. I don't know. I may be just crazy, but I just like to know that if the train is running to Manhattan rather than I have to take the train to Pelham Bay and take it back. So I mean, it's a small gesture, but
When you enter the Parkchester station at street level, is there no countdown clock? I thought there was on the 6th.
there's something there, but I also go to Castle Hill.
Okay.
All right.
Well, the whole line should have, has countdown clocks, I believe.
Yeah, they do.
It's the A division, it should have it.
Well, when you say, you mean to say that the train's
It'll have a sign, 2 minutes for a train to Brooklyn Bridge, or 3
Oh, in
minutes for a train
Parkchester
to
they
Pelham
do.
Bay Park.
Yeah, in Parkchester.
And if there were no downtown trains, there would be no time.
It would say delay there, or, yeah.
Andrew, what I think he's talking about is what I've complained about quite a bit, that on street level, like at my station at 77th and Lex, until you walk down 2 flights of stairs, until you go through the turnstile, whatever they're called, the fare collect, what is it called now? It's not called.
No, where you.
Whatever, it is, until you
area.
actually get to the platform, there is no way of knowing if, sometimes there'll be a yellow thing
Well, actually, some
across,
stations
but
have them at
rarely.
street
But
level
I'm
signs,
just saying
electronic
that I
signs.
have said this, I'll
Fine,
give you
no
this,
problem, take care.
that as you're updating countdown clocks, that at stations where the entrance is not street level, and you have to do, like we do at 77th and Lex, that you have something at street level, where you have all the other signs, the wonderful electronic advertising signs, which are all over the place.
Well, so I was actually going to mention those signs. So what we did earlier this year was actually it was last year now, 17. We awarded the digital advertising concession to Outfront, right? And part of that advertising concession is the understanding that over a 5-year period, we are going to install digital signage throughout the system in stations and on trains that we will essentially share as real estate with the advertising. Part of that is putting more of those digital urban panels at the street level or at the entrance level to the station. We will be, again, we need to develop the technology. It's not quite there yet, but the idea is that we will share some sort of a strip or a cycle of time on those screens to do just what you're saying, just to put real-time service information, definitely to put information if the station is not being served for whatever reason, to help people, and I
Okay,
certainly
but people
understand.
who are blind.
May I suggest what I suggested previously, that until these electronic marbles come in, that there just be something on paper, like are on the poles downstairs again, saying no service from 12 midnight on, or from 10 p.m. on such and such day, or whatever. Just also post those street level. I know we don't use paper much anymore, but it
But we still do that, no, we still do those efforts, but.
But it's not enough
sufficient.
If you could make sort of an extra effort, and maybe have somebody check it, because a lot of times people just turn down out of frustration, which also happens.
Okay, folks, we want to get to our Sally's presentation because it's involved and it's really interesting and you need to know about this. So let me just say Sally is New York City Transit Senior Vice President for Subways. She is the first woman to lead the Department of Subways. She was appointed to the post after serving as Chief Officer of MTA Staten Island Railway, where she was also the first woman to hold that post. As head of the Department of Subways, she oversees the operation of the New York subway system, including development and delivery of long-term strategy for the system's modernization and success. Obviously, she's working with President Byford on not only the subway action plan, but the fast forward plan. She has lots of great items on her resume. I don't want to go through that right now. I'd rather get to the presentation because I know there will be questions on this. So, Sally.
Okay, so at this week's TA committee meeting, we did a one-year review on the subway action plan. And we really wanted to focus on sort of putting the subway action plan in context, going back to early 17. What specifically we were doing when we initiated the subway action plan, what the specific objectives of the plan were, what we accomplished, and where we are today. So this is an important graph. This graph shows the number of incidents that we had over a 6-month period that delayed 200 or more trains. So just by way of definition, an incident is something that we have some sort of disruption on the railroad, and a delay is a train that gets to its terminal more than 5 minutes late. So it's possible that one incident can have 10 delayed trains. It's possible that one incident can have 20 delayed trains. It's possible that an incident can have 0 delayed trains. But in this case, we're looking at incidents that had 200 trains delayed as a result of just the one incident, meaning very impactful incidents, power incidents, track incidents, the type of incidents that cause multiple trains to be rerouted or delayed, and certainly the types of incidents that cause many customers to be inconvenienced. So what you can see is that the last column on the right is much higher than the other columns. That's the January to June time period. And we had nearly double the number of incidents that impacted 200 or more trains during that time period.